Yes, welcome to a mega virtual panel, your MVP show.
Gonna
The
have
Hi,
first
a
of
night.
2025
that's
is
it. We had off. We enjoyed the holidays, and we're here today with me, Jenna. Um, we got Mike here, Steve-O, Crystal, and of course, Funny Donald.
so
And we
bullish. I miss you all.
Oh, and we have a special guest today. I'm super excited about this one. Um, he is a co-founder of a crypto token that just launched Friday called Giga Geek, and it represents all the geeks around the world. And his name is Chris Anderson. Chris, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Hey, thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. um, my name is Chris Anderson. I'm a co-founder of both Giga Geek and this other project that kind of Giga Geek evolved out of called Eon Rift. Um, I'm basically spent most of my career in software product management in the United States, mostly in the video game industry. So um, my career has basically had to do with getting into digital distribution for video games before uh, now everybody just downloads games and thinks it's completely normal. But like, yeah, not too long ago, a lot of the games were in boxes on shelves, and downloading games was like really a weird concept and something new. So, was part of a company called IGN.com that was a pioneer in doing digital game distribution that way, kind of like Steam. If a lot of you have heard of Steam, like that's the way that the games are delivered now. And of course, PlayStation, most stuff is downloads. Um, and then I went on to work at a company called GameFly in the United States, which was basically Netflix for video games, but did a lot of work with cloud video game streaming. And now I got really into the NFT. I got into crypto basically with mostly in the NFT side of things. Dabbled a little bit in, Bitcoin and some of the other coins earlier on, but never really got too into it. But when NFTs came along, this friend of mine, Larry, who I worked with in San Francisco in like Web 1, like .com, the .com bubble. We worked together in San Francisco for a few years, and then Larry went on to New Zealand and worked for 15 years at a company called Weta Workshop, and ended up working on a ton of really awesome IPs like Avatar 1 through 5. That's the James Cameron,
That's
having sushi with
insane.
James Cameron story.
Larry
Yeah.
Larry did Avatar, right? You said? So he
Avatar 1 through
actually
5, yeah.
Holy crap. And then also the marbles, right?
They did a lot of, yeah, Weta Workshop does lots of different things, but the part that Larry was involved in is like pre-production, which basically involves
Oh, he's
um,
showing it. Luke is showing it on the screen.
yeah, exactly.
Cool.
So, Larry works with the directors to imagine and conceptualize everything from like characters, like, in Avatar, the Na'vi, a lot of the technology that you see, a lot of the weapons. So before they start doing all the expensive, prop building and CGI and location shooting and stuff, like the director and guys like Larry get together and they try to imagine how everything's going to look. So a lot of the really iconic appearances of characters and like the vehicles and Mad Max and other things, like Larry, a lot of that is Larry's imagination and work. So he's creative director on a lot of, art director on a lot of big projects, and we've just been friends for since San Francisco. And when the NFT thing started coming along, we decided that we're going to launch an IP-based project called Eon Rift, which is basically like cyberpunk animals. In like we love Ghost in the Shell, we love a lot of cyberpunk things, and so Eon Rift is a successful NFT project. We launched in the middle of the bear market, actually, in like June 2023. And then when this meme coin thing started happening, we thought hey, this is really cool that you have these communities of people that are just sort of coming together around a meme or around an idea. And we love the democratized nature of meme coins, how everybody sort of can get into them at the same time. And we thought, hey, why don't we go kind of bigger and wider with what we started with Eon Rift and do something that is actually for geeks everywhere. So it doesn't matter if you're into cyberpunk like Eon Rift, or if you're into Lord of the Rings, or Star Wars or Marvel or whatever. Geek culture is so diverse, and the fan base for all of the different genres and subgenres of geekdom are so passionate about whatever it is that they're into, um, that we really thought that this is a natural. First of all, it's stuff that we love. It's kind of, you want to get up in the morning and really love what you're working on. So we love all this stuff. We want to spend our days, building cool shit and working with people that we love to work with. And geek becoming the default meme coin for geek culture is the mission of what we're trying to build. And
I
on
don't think anyone's done it, Chris. I think you're the first that's
yeah, I
ever
think.
thought to do that. And the cool thing is the geek is very wide ranging. First of all, I want to
Mhm.
say this, you guys, I'm so sorry. I kind of just jumped right into the crypto side of our show. It's because I know Chris is nonstop, and I just want to give him the opportunity to talk. He's in a way different time zone, just so he can maybe, I don't know, go to bed
Oh,
or
Jen,
do what he's got to do. So I'm sorry, you guys, that we just jumped right
oh,
in,
let's
but
definitely hear from them. It's a really cool project. I was there for launch, and yeah, I think it's good for the whole crypto community to hear from a series of docs devs. I mean, something that our industry lacks. So yeah, keep it.
exactly. And he's always on video. Like anytime we do something, even
Yeah,
VC in the Telegram, he's on video. He's always on video. And I laugh because I say he's always smiling. I'm like he loves his life.
yeah. No,
Well,
thank you, and yeah, sorry to if I sort of jump right into things without.
No, I did, but I
Okay.
because I want you to say your thing, and then I'm sure you have other things you have to do, and we appreciate you coming on.
No, I appreciate. I listen. I'm super grateful for the opportunity to talk about what we're doing. So thank you for having me on.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah, let
Tell
us
me
yeah,
know
about a little bit
more.
about. Go ahead, you guys. Ask him any
Yeah,
questions. Go
no, no,
ahead.
go ahead. And I was just going to say, make sure to let everybody know, how they can find your project and all that. But Jenna, yeah, I know you know a lot about the project, so go ahead and ask away, so we can make sure our community learns as much as they can.
I just want to say something because it really is a testament to these guys who founded Gigageek. They had, and this is the God's honest truth. They have Eon Rift, the NFT projects. They airdropped a little to the people who hold those NFTs. Not one of those people, not one. A lot of times when people get airdrops, they like, you know how people are. They sell. "Oh, thank you for the free money." Nobody has sold their. This is how much they know what these guys can do. So that has gotten me kind of even more excited because they know him longer. Like I've only known him a very short time, but and I already like these guys, but it for a group that has known him longer and they don't even want to give anything up yet that they own of theirs. That's like I don't know. Don't you guys think that says a lot? I don't know.
That is
we.
tremendously
Yeah.
bullish because I know a lot of other projects that airdrop people and it just went. So the fact that they stayed loyal, I mean, that's bullish. That is tremendously bullish.
I
We
hope it
have
was
a.
okay that I mentioned that, Chris, but because it's
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah, absolutely.
something you should be like really proud of. That's like amazing. So he comes. He already come. They come with their own community too. So it's like two
Yep.
communities now coming together. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we've when we started the Eon Rift project, we sort of approached it the same way. Like, we are a bunch of Web 2 people that have had, careers in different. Some of us have been in the creative space, like Tom Waltz from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Larry, who we just sort of finished
Guys,
talking about.
Tom Waltz, not Tim Waltz.
Not Tim Waltz. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Police.
Not
Don't
Tim
don't
on
get the two of them
Tim.
confused.
I-
Yeah,
he even he even has it on his bio on
yeah,
Twitter. Not to
yeah.
be confused with him.
Was Tom Waltz actually in China during the Tiananmen Square thing, or
Right,
was
right.
that
Yeah,
a difference between them?
yeah. He may have been. I don't know actually where he was at the time.
Well, your Tom
Um,
probably tells the truth. So
yeah, yeah.
there's Tim and
Um,
Tom. He's Tom.
he's Tom. He's Tom. He's one of the co-authors of over 120, I think, of the early Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics, and he's a co-author on. There's a newer sort of alternate reality storyline for the Ninja Turtles called The Last Ronin, which is a smash hit, bestseller. Paramount's actually making a live action R-rated movie out of it. It's a darker spin on the Turtles story. Again, it's not the official like stuff that you see in the movies.
Why
It's
is
an
it
alternate
R?
because it's violent. It's like
Oh, okay.
it
Okay.
sounds
There's
funny,
not
a
turtle
violent.
sex or no
I
turtle
was gonna
sex.
say, did one of
No.
them finally hook up with April O'Neil? Come on.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I haven't.
yeah.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. No, it's basically a revenge story. Like, there's four turtle brothers, and in this particular story, alternate reality, three out of the four brothers have been killed, and the last surviving brother basically picks up the weapons of his fallen brothers and goes on a like Tarantino style revenge mission to avenge their deaths. So it's going to be really cool to see an R-rated, live action. The thing that gets me is live action. Like, I can't wait to see what they do with that. But yeah, so Tom's one of the creative guys on the team. He leads the comics effort at Eon Rift. So we've got comic books, our own comic books, original comic books that we've created, and we're going to be doing comics on Giga Geek as well. So part of the ultimate vision for Giga Geek is, in the spirit of decentralization and community, we build the biggest community of geeks worldwide that are all participating and having fun in the community. We can use the proceeds from Project Treasury to do our own IP and to do our own. We want to have our own series on Netflix. We want to create our own line of comic books, and we want to do it in a way where guys like Tom and Larry spend a lot of their career working their way through some kind of corporate gatekeepers who decide what's going to be made. And Larry worked on all these really cool things and made all this beautiful content, but didn't really participate directly in, outside of the paycheck, in the success of those things. So we think that there's a lot of opportunity to rethink kind of how creative people who are making all this awesome stuff can participate more in the rewards of the IP and the creative stuff that they build. And that's really the grand vision for all this, is to remove some of those gatekeepers. Geeks know what they love. They're super passionate about what they love, and frankly, a lot of the big studios and stuff like that. I mean, Disney really messed up Star Wars, when they got a hold of it. So we think that there's room to rethink a little bit how some of this IP gets created, and have a more direct relationship between the community of fans and the content creators that are making the cool stuff.
Luke, can we actually hear that? Can we watch that video with the sound? And then I want to ask Chris a question. Is it possible to hear the sound on that? Thanks.
Oh, maybe it's a setting or something. Probably.
Can
I
you hear
can't
it?
hear it.
Oh, you can't? We can
I
hear
can't,
it.
but oh, okay, good. I can't hear it.
That's so good. Your content's so good. I have to
Yeah.
ask you. I heard you
Yep.
say the other day, and then I'll let other people ask questions too. I heard you say the other day there's many types, or I don't know how you worded it, categories maybe of geeks. I
Uh-huh.
have to ask you, is someone who kind of like watches things about aliens considered a geek? Like
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, definitely.
of course Star Wars, but I mean like Ancient Aliens, like that show.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean
cool.
there's I don't know if you've heard the term like geek out, like I'm gonna geek out on something.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it basically means that you just really go down, the rabbit hole on something. Like you're super interested in it, you're super passionate about it. You learn everything that you can, about it. You talk about it, kind of incessantly. So anything that you're really passionate about, whether it's, aliens or even, conspiracy theory or Star Wars or whatever, like you can be a geek about anything. It just means that you're super knowledgeable about it, you're super interested, super passionate about it, and it
That's
becomes
a
kind of part of your identity.
perfect definition because I think if I was trying to, like, I would be like, well, someone who likes gaming, yeah, they're a geek. I don't know if I could come up with that definition like you could, like you did. So, so there's like movie geeks. Like my brother can tell you, I swear to God, you guys, I'll watch a movie and I'll be like, I don't get it. The ending, I don't get it. I'll call my brother and he'll be like, oh, it means that this. I go, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's a geek right there too. So
Yep.
I don't know. Do
Anybody
you
that has that
guys?
level of like knowledge about something can be a
Yeah.
geek about it.
What's the difference between a geek and a nerd? Is there any difference?
I think, yeah.
I I heard
Well,
nerds were like really smart. Geeks aren't necessarily smart. They're fanatics about something, but nerds are like stupid intelligent about things. Like almost like the socially awkward ones. That's what I heard.
I heard
That
yeah.
nerds
makes
are the ones you
sense.
shove into high school lockers and you want to be friends with the geeks. That's what I heard.
It's
Yeah.
true. I don't know. What do you? I don't. Is that an act? Because I was literally Jenna. You asked the same question, or I was going to see if that was true. Is like nerds are your scientists, your engineers, your whatever geeks. Geeks don't necessarily have to be like like he said, really interested. Like you're a fanatic about something, and you get really smart in that one thing and know everything like about that. But like the nerds are like I don't know. I don't know if that's accurate or not.
I'm yeah, I'm not, to be honest, I'm not even sure about what the definition of a nerd would be these days. But I mean, when I grew up, nerd was a very negative thing, and I think it's even evolved to nowadays where it's not a negative thing. Like, being a nerd is sort of something that's, you be a nerd about something is kind of like being a geek about something. You're just sort of, you get really nerdy about it, and it means that you sort of, obsess over it a little bit, focus over it a little bit. It becomes something that you sort of go tunnel vision on. So, but I think geeks, I think you guys are right that like nerds are probably more academic in nature for the most part. Um, Science, math, stuff like that. And that's not necessarily mean that geeks, aren't going to be in that way too. But you don't have to, be good at math or good at science or anything like that to be a geek. You just have to be super, super, super passionate about whatever it is, Star Trek or Ninja Turtles or, Batman or whatever it is. So nerds can be geeks, geeks can be nerds. But
Got it.
yeah. But I think nowadays they're both like, being a geek is cool. Like being a geek, it means that you're really really into something, you're really really passionate about something, you care a
Right.
lot about something, and it becomes part of your identity, right? And you celebrate it, like all you go to comic cons and some of these conventions, you see all these people that are sort of doing the cosplay and they're dressing up like, it's a very kind of celebratory, fun, community, based thing. And that's what we want to embody and pay tribute to with this community coin, because it is very much about community, getting people together, celebrating the stuff that we love, and just talking with each other about the stuff that we love and having fun. That's sort of the point of all of this.
Well, I got to say firsthand, as a relatively newcomer to it, I have to say, Giga Geek is warming my heart tremendously. You're bullish, and Larry's bullish. Everybody there is tremendously wonderful to interact with, and I got very strong feelings about it. You're very smart, and you're handsome. You don't meet a lot of handsome people in crypto. You meet a lot of the uglies, but you're tremendously good looking, and that's
Well,
bullish.
thank you, Mr. President.
He said a
It's
lot
an
of
honor.
uglies. Oh my God, you kill me. Holy crap. Oh, another thing, guys, if you are into it and you like these goggles you're seeing, there's a way to
Yes,
download them and put them right on your picture.
yes.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can just go to the website there. There's a link to it on the website, gigageek.gg, and this connects to a Google Drive. Larry created, I think, 8 different colors or something like that, and literally over 700 different angles of these goggles. So when you open up you open up that drive, you can see every possible angle as a PNG. So you take whichever image it is, so Luke Skywalker or whatever, who's looking this way. You can find the goggles that will fit that exact,
That
angle.
is
So it makes it,
that's
yeah,
awesome. And Luke, you're
makes it
doing
super
awesome
easy.
showing them out there. You're doing
Yeah, thank you for
awesome.
running the video on this as I'm talking. It's amazing having the visuals. It's super helpful.
It
Yeah,
is
Luke
so
is on
cool.
fire.
He is on fire. Too bad he can't talk. You guys would love Luke. I mean, they already love Luke. I mean, you would love him,
I already love
Chris.
Luke. He's doing an amazing job putting
Yeah.
everything up on screen here in real time.
I think he wants a job with Marvel or something. I don't know. Just kidding. But what was I gonna say? But if you, I don't know if there's anything. Oh, we have the Telegram they can join.
Yep,
The current market cap is a healthy 1.6 million.
yep,
And it looks like it's probably the floor,
yep,
and which is a great floor to have. And
yep.
this team has said several times, especially Jordy. Is it Gordy or Jordy?
Jordy. Yeah,
Jordy. He
yeah.
says he always says without a doubt, we're not stopping. We're never
Oh yeah.
stopping. And he always says we're going to the billions. And they are so confident, and they're not here for the rush. They're here for the long run. So for me, full disclosure, I help them in the Telegram and everything, and I love it, just like I do with MVP, and do things for MVP. But um,
You're
I
such an
help them,
awesome
and
member of the community. Thank you.
thank you. And well, if I'm passionate, like I'm passionate about Luke's token MVP too, so I'll be your loyal best friend. You know what I mean? So, but so full disclosure, I'm in the token, and it's a long conviction play for me. I have no. I'm gonna ride this. I've never seen anything like this before. Um, it's fun, and the content is amazing, and I'm so glad that I have Chris, when I tell you that so this is sponsored by MAGA VP, which is Luke's token, and
Awesome.
you guys are the teams are so similar. Don't you guys? Oh my God, I don't know. Um Donald, you've been around a little bit of this team. Aren't they similar? They're
I
just good people, right?
Good people. And you know what? I've been with MAGA VP since February of last year, and our 1 year anniversary is almost here. Can you believe it? We're 1 month away from our 1 year anniversary. And I got
Wow.
to say, both tokens have beautiful communities, very strong leadership, and the leadership is tremendously handsome on both ends. And I love it so tremendously. And thank you for joining us. But hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but we got to keep the show
Yeah,
moving.
yeah,
And I want to
absolutely.
get
Thank you.
Chris's opinions on the markets.
On the markets,
What do you think
so
about crypto?
I mean, I think we're heading into with your inauguration coming up, Mr. President. I'm super bullish on pretty much everything across the board. I think that uh, the tides are going to rise and lift all boats. I think that we've been waiting for a while now for this to happen. So I'm super bullish on everything crypto heading into you taking the Oval Office here soon, and as far as our project goes, we're like, um, Jen already said, we have a really long-term, vision on this in terms of how long we're going to build. So we don't pay too much attention to, day-to-day ups and downs. Uh, geek culture is already multi-billion-dollar thing. If you look at all the different, IPs that are out there and franchises that are out there. So we absolutely are going to push this up to 1 billion and beyond. We don't know how long it's going to take, but we're prepared to grind, and we think we have the team and the existing communities of geek culture as we get bigger and bigger and more people hear about it, and we start going to Comic Cons, and Tom starts getting involved and doing his magic, and I think we've got a really strong road ahead of us. So, and it's super exciting that the markets are gonna be bouncing here soon
For sure.
with the
With the
election.
inauguration, yeah. You know what you gotta do, Chris, you gotta make in real life Giga goggles and then wear them to Comic Con.
We're 100% going to do that. We're going to make Giga goggles for Comic Con and in real life, and then we're also going to do an augmented reality um, little web app so that you can go to an address and basically have the goggles put on your face automatically and do head tracking and that type of stuff, so people can easily take videos and photos of themselves and enter sweepstakes and contests and stuff like that. There's a lot of really fun stuff that we've got coming, including some AI stuff that we're going to be announcing in the not too distant future with our lead character, Geeko, who's a humanoid robot that decides to abandon his programming and just consume geek culture and become a geek.
I want some geek goggles. Do you have a merch store where you sell those?
We have a merch store off the website. We just have a few items in there right now, but Larry's awesome at designing merch as he is with doing characters and videos and stuff. And we'll definitely have goggles in there once we figure out how we want to exactly produce them.
That's awesome. Hey, Chris, I was wanting to know like what your opinion is about the market. I just saw like a chat, a DM or whatever. It was just like a request. Like, what is your thoughts about the market today?
Uh-huh. I mean, I think that I'm not entirely sure, what causes the day-to-day fluctuations, on the market. Specifically as it relates to crypto, though, I think that again, we're entering into a bull cycle. We're definitely entering into a bull run. It's been sort of building, I think, for a while, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but I think that it's going to last long enough to really help everybody build a healthy base of capital, and hopefully hang on to that so that they can keep building with whenever the next bear comes.
I think there's just been so much crap like in the news. Like there's the fires in California.
hmm
Um, there's Trudeau stepped down. I mean, I you would think that would be good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just uncertainty, like what the hell's going on. And I think wasn't there Donald financial news today too?
Yeah, there was something recently yesterday about how the employment numbers looked better, which in our market isn't good because then that means the Federal Reserve is more likely to keep interest rates where they are. On the if inflation starts to tick up, they might raise the rates. But right now, I think I haven't looked too deeply into this. I think right now people are betting that they're not going to cut rates because if the
hmm
employment numbers are good, then they don't need to, which makes risk on assets such as crypto not as attractive. So I
You know,
think that was a huge
crazy
part.
world where good news is bad news and bad news is good news, unfortunately,
right.
out here. But yeah, no, that was one of the catalysts for sure. But what I would tell everybody is, Bitcoin is over $90,000. I mean, this is like a dream.
Exactly.
Uh, People just get a little emotional with a little dip. Capital markets move up and down. Learn how to trade your bags correctly and capitalize on these. Because I can assure you, BlackRock is. Other major financial firms are doing just fine with it. So I think everybody needs to look at the larger aspect that the markets are very bullish with Donald Trump coming in. There's
Yeah,
multiple nations now discussing having their own strategic Bitcoin reserves. People need to really understand that if nation states stockpile Bitcoin, that asset class is, I mean, as good as gold. It will be there forever. And this is
literally.
huge, huge for the markets that we're in right here.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Agreed.
Mike, do you remember when the crypto market did not react to the economy? Like it never did. It did its own thing. Do you remember that? Like the stock
Yeah.
market
You know,
always reacts.
those days have changed now, as the larger firms have come in. I mean, BlackRock being, one of the biggest ones. People, I don't know if you all know this, maybe some of our listeners don't, but the Bitcoin ETF has been the most successful ETF in history of any asset class that's ever been brought into an ETF.
Wow.
Um, so the reason why the crypto markets are moving with the overall markets is because of that institutional money now being, such a big part of it. And I don't see anything to stop that continuing, especially if more nations and the U.S. does decide to create a strategic Bitcoin reserve. But no, I do remember that. And the only news we would ever hear about crypto in the markets back then was when it wasn't doing good. And the media
Hmm.
was just like they're pointing their finger at us, wagging their finger, like, see, we told
Yeah.
you it's going down. But they've been wrong the whole time. And the
Yep.
Bitcoin maxis have been right. I personally think, if people know Bitcoin maxis, they've been looking at a $1 million Bitcoin since that thing's been like $10. And I think they're going to end up being absolutely right about it. And for the ones that capitalize, I hope they do great things for the world. Give back,
Yep.
do something positive, and make this, what was designed to be decentralized, really use it to help the world out.
Yeah.
So if anyone's listening that has that much Bitcoin, do something good with it.
Right.
It's
I
also.
have.
Oh, so
Go ahead, Chris.
I was just going to say, like my take on crypto and all this stuff is that we're still very early, relatively speaking, in terms of mass market adoption and sort of the general public getting in on all this stuff. And it reminds me a lot of when the internet got started and e-commerce was that's sort of the thing that Larry and I met over. And you talking about people sort of pointing, wagging your finger, like, see, we told you so. Like, when the e-commerce bubble burst in 2001, same thing. It was like, oh, we told you, that this internet thing and e-commerce and buying stuff online, it's not sustainable, it's not going to work, that it doesn't make sense. Who's gonna do this? And Amazon was way, way, way down. And then but that's this initial sort of hype and then crash, and then after that you get this slow build where you get the mass market adoption. And look at like Amazon and this other stuff today, like it's completely taken over everything. I think the same thing is going to happen with this technology, with crypto and with blockchain stuff in general. It's just you've had this sort of an initial boom, and then you get the crash after that. And then over time, we're going to have the infrastructure that gets built out. The tools will become easier to use. The wallets will become a lot easier for normal people to access and use. All this stuff about the ETFs, are getting in front of average everyday people's eyes, and they're seeing that this isn't just a weird niche, kind of technology thing. This is actually getting now into the mass consciousness. So I think it's going to follow the exact sort of same trajectory as the internet and e-commerce and everything else did. It just takes a while for general population to get into that adoption curve.
It's magic internet money.
Yep.
And I mean,
Can you go ahead?
yeah, I was just going to say, I mean, even more as, I mean, unfortunately, the U.S., is printed so much money, and, every nation essentially is just stacked debt on top of their currencies and their economies. The fact that you can have an asset class that isn't tied to that directly, I think is going to really prove to be a very useful tool when that day comes. For the reckoning of the traditional financial markets. And yeah, I think crypto's here. And for anybody listening, if they're new to crypto or they don't know anything about it, start slow. Don't jump in and try to buy, the next Doge or Shiba. Really do your homework and educate yourself so that, you can make this something good for yourself.
100%.
But go ahead, Jenna, with what you were going to say.
I'm sorry, I couldn't. I was trying to get back to the microphone, but it wasn't like my finger wasn't cooperating. But anyway, um, I want to ask you one more thing. Can you tell? Stop it.
You
Can
could
you
think
tell
of
us,
something to
Chris,
say.
how to find where to find the Eon Rift NFTs and like about how much people bid on them?
Yeah, you can get them. They're on OpenSea, and we've, to be honest, I don't know what the average floor price is now, but they've done quite well, I think, relative to most of the NFT projects out there, and that's largely thanks to our community, because they've gotten to know us. They've seen the roadmap of stuff that we're building. They understand that the big vision of what it is that we're trying to build, which is we want to build a an IP, the quality of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, a transmedia IP, which covers comic books, video games, movies, everything like that, on Web3 using blockchain and decentralized technology. And we want that to be $1 billion IP at someday, the way that Ninja Turtles are today. So the fact that we've held our onto the value as much as we have with that collection is basically because we have a really diamond-handed community of people that really believe in our mission, and now they're part of the community for GigaGeek as well. They're huge supporters for GigaGeek, and we've got a community already of 6,000 people from Eon Rift that are supporting GigaGeek and excited about what we're doing at GigaGeek as well.
Oh, I almost forgot too. I have a giveaway on behalf of GigaGeek of $50 in in Solana. Um we need to pick a winner.
All right.
Um
So if anyone's listening, you want them to put it in the comments section, Jenna, or how do you want to handle that there?
I don't know. You guys decide.
Okay. Well, I'd say for anybody listening, drop some comments into the chat right here. I see Anderson is putting some stuff in right now, and
Oh, that is
we
so cool.
yeah
How do you say
we
his
can
name?
pick it.
Wanderson?
Yeah. Well, I know it's Anderson. I can tell from our chat. So, but yeah, if anybody else, we can pick it right at the end, and yeah, I wanted to ask just to transition a little bit here, and everyone can feel free to keep giving, their thoughts. But, there are a couple big, I mean, there's really a ton of big political things going on right now. But, Steve-O, I am very interested on what you think about Mr. Trudeau deciding to step down.
Well, I think it's probably about 3 years too late. I mean, he's been unpopular that long, but uh, I'm 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 very excited about our northern neighbors there and their possibility of electing Polyev. I've talked about him a few times, and he is he's been called the MAGA PM. He's been called the Trump of the North and things like that, and I think that'll be good. I think that's good for the three North American countries, Mexico and Canada, United States, with trade and things like that, and in crypto. I don't know if I've heard of Canada becoming one of the countries with the Bitcoin reserve, but I know he doesn't like the way the money is moved in the Canadian government and things like that. I don't know much about Trudeau's crypto, and I don't know if you do, Mike, or if President Trump does. What's the northern neighbor do? But I I think Trudeau was probably one of the worst politicians in the last 10 years. And that's including Biden, because I think Biden was, I think those two must have been tweeting each other and on Grinder or whatever other social media things that they
Yeah, I was
use
going to say
together.
that is the app they go on, I think, but go ahead.
Yeah, they're one and the same. Just it seems like they both tried derailing their countries, you know, the economies and things like that, and whatever they were doing. And yeah, I hope whoever Canada elects, you know, is crypto, because you know it's big for the private people, but if countries can get into it, you know, and you know, you're talking about major trade partners, you're talking about European and Asian nations, if they can start doing that kind of stuff, you know, Chris was saying, you know, trying to get in the mainstream, if you will, like it is, we are in the infancy. I agree with him 100%. And the bigger thing though is if the countries can adopt it and start, you know, doing it that way, and especially with trade, if somehow we can figure it out, and I don't say not we, but the governments, I think that would be huge.
And
Yep.
you know, just to throw a little crypto info in here for anybody listening, if you are a DGen, what I love about the crypto markets is literally when the Trudeau news started to drop the coins out there of that conservative leader Pierre,
Pierre
immediately
Polyev.
started the move. I went on and found the oldest deployed token in his name. It was still on Pump Fund, and that thing got bonded off. It's bounced around and went up, came down. But just to give a little bit of knowledge to everybody out there, you know, when these major news events occur, there are markets responding to it, much in the same way as Elon tweeting and all these things. So, you know, within our show here, we want to, you know, give some knowledge to people out there. Those are always things to look for. And I would not rush into buying anything per se, but knowing how these trends move, you know, can help you if you learn how to play them right.
Yep.
But yeah, Stevo, let me ask you too. What about what do you think about the sentencing of Trump coming up? I do see that he petitioned the Supreme Court today, or maybe it was yesterday. But do you think he'll be
I
sentenced? And what do you think?
I I don't even know, man. I feel like we're in an alternate reality now, and they haven't learned their lesson, you know. And this is, I can't even. This is the federal, because I know New York threw it out, right? Is this the federal indictment, or which one? Which one is this? Which one of the times that Trump's been
So
indicted? Which one is
this
this? I'm
is the New York case, and I just want to preface this correctly. This is the case that they took 34 misdemeanors that
Yeah.
the
So this is the
statute
real
of
estate one, not
hold on, I want
the.
to get the whole thing. The statute of limitations expired. They turn around and create a novel new legal theory that says if he did another felony, they can turn those into felonies, even though they never charged him with another felony, nor was he convicted of another felony. He is probably one of the few people in American history to have 34 misdemeanors, expire the statute of limitations, and then have them turn into felonies out of thin air. But that is the case we're talking about. That
I mean, you would think they would learn at some point. The more they fuck with this guy, the stronger he gets. He's like the Incredible Hulk. He's only going to get angrier and stronger, and he's going to get more politically powerful. And you're just going to get, I mean, because some people who don't pay attention, who obviously know that President Trump is elected, you know, if they don't pay attention and see him again, there's just going to be people like, it's over. You know, it's not even looked at as political anymore. I think it's looked at as buffoonery. Like, you know, all the everybody else is stopping. You know, the Georgia cases and things like that. Like, just let it go. Like, what are you going to? What purpose are you going to do? And I mean, what 20? How many days? What do we? What's today's date? The seventh, eighth. What is today? The eighth, right? So we're 12 days away from inauguration. What do they really think is going to happen? I mean, I think they really have lost their cool, and the
It's
fact that they're
stupid.
the
It's
yeah
so dumb.
and well, Jenna, that's your, and it's not it's your state, not your city, you know. I mean,
Ugh.
It's
what's the
all Jenna's
mood,
fault. That's
what's the
what this.
mood, I guess, in your home state? Like, is there an exhaust? I
Yeah,
think the political
people.
cycle is exhausting to begin with for most people. My sickness is that it excites me, but I'm saying, you know, for most people, either the political cycle in and of itself, once the election's over, they kind of are disinterested. They
I can
have to
I
be
can tell you what
exhausted.
happened in New York. Okay, so in this state now, mind you, I'm not in New York City. I'm way up by Buffalo, so it's a little different here. However, after I, of course, I know a lot of people who love him. I know a lot of people who hate him, but even the people who hate him were whispering to us, "It's okay. We're just gonna go with it. It's good." Like when last time they were pissed and they couldn't stand it and they wanted to run into the streets, and it was different now. It was almost like they were relieved. Very strange. It's very different this time. I think, and I have a cousin who was very, he was very liberal, very Democrat. And this summer he told me, he goes, "I've had it." I said, "What do you mean?" I almost fell on the floor. I think I told you guys this before. And he said what did it for him was all these convictions. He goes, "It's embarrassing. It's obvious."
Yeah.
So I
Well,
just think a lot of
even
people had
Judge
it.
Judy was on there saying like it's just look at let's just if we narrow this down to the city of New York, okay, they're more worried about this guy, and they got people pushing people in front of fucking subways. They have people that are homeless. They have their own economic issues going on. Like they have robberies. They have police people, fire everybody. Like, the whole city is not what Mayor Giuliani left it in the '90s. It's
Exactly,
gone back,
exactly.
and like they're worried about this one guy, and they're letting just they're there's 20 different subjects we can go off on here, but I mean, real crime is rampant. I mean, if you watch the Daniel Penny and Jordan Neely
Oh
thing,
God, I
and
know.
that overtook the news for a little bit, but like this is the stuff that you're dealing with.
Look, he's playing Judge Judy right now.
Yeah. No,
Chris, I
she
have a
was. There was a good interview because Judge Judy was asked
yeah.
like, "What do you think?" And she effectively said it's
She said
horseshit.
there's no case.
Yeah,
There's
she said it's
nothing.
horseshit. Like,
Cri-
go worry about the real things in the city instead of. I mean,
Exactly.
you know,
I have a question for Chris because you are not in the United States right now, but you are an American.
Yes.
What do people say? I'll tell you this: when I was just in Italy in October, and people were going, "Trump, make America great again." Out of nowhere, I'm like, that was so funny. But it wasn't a lot of people. I don't think they really talk about it too much there. But it
Mm.
was funny. But what do people, do you got a feel for it? What they
What,
feel?
what what people feel about Trump here?
Yeah, Trump and America. Do they think we're crazy? Do they think we're on the right track?
I think they think that my experience is they think that America is a little bit sort of crazy and t- turned inward. I think like the stereotypical I think perception is kind of Americans are fairly America
And
centric
that's
in
it.
terms
Yeah.
of thing. And just because like I mean America is huge. It's the most powerful country in the world, and you got this massive place where there's kind of I mean you can kind of you know do fine staying in America and not heading anywhere else if you don't want to. But Europe's different because it's smaller and it's got this longer history of like, you know, stuff changing all the time and people, getting into different wars with each other. And so I think Europe has a little bit more of an awareness of each other because they're such close neighbors to each other. They've had to deal with each other so much, and America's just has the benefit of this wonderful like geographic. They say it's a term like geography is destiny, or I think that's the term. Somebody said that at one point, but it's really true. When you have that amount of like isolation, you've got that beautiful you got oceans on both sides. You got this nice sort of buffer around everything. It's you can afford to kind of like just hang out and not necessarily have the same, I guess, awareness or interest of what's going on because Europe just has to because they're dealing with each other like all the time.
That makes a
And
lot of sense.
so the
That makes
move.
a
I
lot.
want to go to Europe. Where are you
The
from in Europe, Chris?
I live in Luxembourg right now.
Oh, that is awesome.
so the
Oh,
Yeah.
mood
it's a,
is that America
yeah.
is too focused on America.
Which
You
is
mean
much unlike China, I would say. They definitely don't focus on China, right?
Right.
yeah. Yeah, they,
Right.
they they don't
No,
I
I'm
think
kidding. China's
And
definitely 100% for themselves,
yeah, that
same as
it's
every nation should be.
yeah, yeah. It's just that I think in Europe, not everybody I think can like China has well, China's dependent on a lot of foreign imports and stuff like that as well for certain things. But America has really had a very awesome luxury of being very rich when it comes to a lot of natural resources, and I think that other countries in different parts of the world they just sort of have to they can't afford to be as they don't have the luxury, I guess, of being able to be as uh, you know self-sufficient, I suppose, as America does. So I think
Chris,
that in general, Europeans kind of look at America as a little bit crazy, but not in like a mean way, and just kind of like a you know slightly humorous way. Everyone here is very friendly and very welcoming, and I don't get any grief about being an American.
Chris. So I was just thinking, like, in your thoughts, compared Europe compared to America, is it Europe more like economical? Um, I know Americans are driving cars, polluting the. I just hear a lot of. I've got a friend that lives over there, and she was saying, "Yeah, we ride bikes. I mean, it's pretty common. I mean,
Yeah,
we walk a lot, and a lot of us speak more languages, so that's pretty common over there too. So it's definitely on my
yeah.
bucket list to go. I gotta go with you,
Oh, you
Jenna.
should.
Well, Jenna, next
Hey,
time,
Yeah.
if you
girl,
come
next
out,
yeah, I'm
Well,
excited.
well, the thing is
come
you
out and
can.
visit.
The
I
thing is,
will.
you can wake up in London and then go eat, breakfast in France, and then go eat, lunch in Luxembourg, and then and then have dinner and nightlife down in Spain, and be back in London, and you can do that all in a day.
Yeah,
Wow.
And you wake up in Texas, East Texas, and start fucking driving, and 30 hours later you're still in Texas. I mean, people
Everything's
don't
And
bigger in
really.
Texas.
you guys, you're gonna
But you'll go through just as many regions and dialects and cultures in Texas as you will those
yeah,
four different countries. You know what I
That's
mean?
Chris.
awesome.
What you said
And
is so. I'm so sorry, Steve. What he said though is so true because you guys are gonna laugh. I didn't realize, like, I don't know, like, ever since I met people in crypto and you meet them from all over the world, I didn't realize
Mm.
how, there's other countries that are pretty awesome too. Like, I know that sounds stupid, but I freaking
no,
loved
it's
Italy.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I'm a typical American. I've been to Canada, Mexico, and the Bahamas. Okay, that was the extent. Like, that's probably most Americans are like that. When I went to Italy, it opened up my eyes. I'm like, this is kind of cool.
Wow.
And they do things a little different, but not. And then I don't know. It was just it opened my eyes, and not in a
yeah,
bad way, in a good way. Like, yeah, I love America. I
that's awesome.
love America. I love America,
Yeah,
but
me
Yeah.
too.
I'm not afraid. Put it this way, I'm not afraid to go anywhere now. Does that make sense?
I want to go
Totally,
to Italy. I want to go to Europe. I want to do everything.
Oh, and
you
I
should.
didn't know until crypto that I didn't realize that, like, England is the size of Florida. I don't know if you guys know that. And, like, Italy's like even way smaller than that.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
And
I
Luxembourg is even way smaller than that.
yeah, Luxembourg's
Wow.
like probably smaller than New York City, man.
It's way smaller than New York City. I can
What?
drive you if you drive 20 minutes in any direction, you're pretty much in
Yeah,
either Belgium or France or
yeah,
Germany.
it's really small.
I
Isn't the
heard
It's
capital
tiny.
Belgium's
Luxembourg as well?
amazing.
Isn't Luxembourg the capital of Luxembourg?
Yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
confusing
yeah,
that
it's
way.
the city and yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So,
god.
Jenna, now you're Italian. So, how many? I thought you've been to like Italy so many
Well, here's
times.
the thing, you guys. Now here's my thing now. People say, "Oh, I'm Italian, this and that." But the funny thing is people in Italy don't act like anything like people here that say they're Italian. They don't act like that. It's the funniest thing. Like, they
How
don't
do
act
they
Well,
like The
we're
act?
down here from
Sopranos.
Jersey, man. That's
They
why
Oh,
don't.
wow.
Yeah, they don't
we're
act
all
like
Jersey
that.
Shore.
They
That's
they
what I
dress
was
to the
thinking.
nines
Or the
just to walk down the
Sopranos.
street. Yeah.
You just think it's Jersey Shore, The Sopranos. So
Yeah.
that's what you think Italy is.
Yeah. No, they dress up like they dress like they care, like they care, like what
I
they look
love
like. They're
that.
just they are amazing people,
Yeah.
and
They
they
care. Their
just
cadence. Yeah.
and let me tell if
Classy.
their yeah, if their job, Chris, honestly, you've probably been there. If their job is to clean the window, they're gonna clean the window like no one's ever seen before, and they take pride in it. They're not embarrassed. That's their
Love it.
job, and they're gonna do it the best they can.
I
That's what I
love
noticed.
that. Hey,
Very
I
cool.
love it. I love hearing that.
A lot of that is because they drink a lot, so it just kind of dulls the pain away.
Hey,
You know.
hey. There's
That's one way
nothing
to pass the
wrong with
time.
drinking and loving your job,
Drop
Michael.
the mic. Drop the mic.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
so we're almost near the end of the show here. You know, if everyone wants to just give a, you know, maybe a few closing thoughts, and
Can you
I
do the
want to
winner?
say, yeah, we'll pick the one. I just want everyone that's listening right now to know that MAGA MV or MAGA VP is sponsoring this. We do these every week. We actually are going to start rolling this out on the TikTok as well. And we're looking to grow these numbers on these streams as big as they can go. So be prepared for what's coming. Also, with the MAGA VP token itself, this is a hardworking, relentless team. We appreciate the community, and just know that moving through this year, in the next couple weeks into the inauguration, the next couple months, I think everybody will be happy with the direction that MVP is going to go. That's just my thoughts on it from what I know. But I'll open the floor up to everybody else, and then we can have a couple of closing words about Giga Geek. And Jenna, you can announce the winner.
Are we going to do a best tweet or anything? I mean, I've got a couple
No,
of, well,
I
I think
think Luke
we're just
said
going to do the
skip
winner
it
of the
this
other one
week.
there.
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. So I will just announce the winner. Is he still here, you guys?
Luke is,
No,
I don't
no.
think his mic is working.
The winner, is he still here? Who we picked?
Oh,
I
oh,
well,
I don't know who the winner was.
What
go
Wan
to core.
it says
Go,
Wanderson.
Oh,
Wanderson.
Anderson.
It said a W in front of
Wan
it. There he is.
Wanderson. You want a Wan burger,
Wah.
Wanderson?
I know it's the way I talk. It's upstate New
No, I wasn't
York.
making fun of
I
you.
love the way you
I
Oh,
talk.
wasn't making fun of you at
I
all.
hate it.
It's just the
Classy,
W.
beautiful,
It's the
I
clean.
W at
I
the
so
end
love
of
the
the
way you
day.
talk.
Wanderson, you won $50 worth of
Woo!
Solana. And it's the um what do you call it? Courtesy of Giga Geeks and MVP.
Oh,
Yay! That's
nice.
awesome.
congratulations.
So I will reach out to you to get your wallet, because if I tell you to do it, there's going to be 50 Andersons coming at me saying they're you.
I just changed an alt to Wanderson.
Good
Actually,
point.
I'm on it.
Well
Oh,
said.
you got it? Are you going to get his wallet?
No, I was joking. I said I just changed
Oh,
one of
oh,
my
you were
alts
just
to
changing you.
Wanderson.
Oh, I'm so dumb sometimes. But
I'm
anyway,
serious. That's
Chris,
awesome, Jenna.
we loved having you, Chris. I hope you had a good time. We
I had an
love
awesome time.
good. Come next week if you want, because I know Larry's coming. And you guys, the stories he's going to tell us, funny, hysterical, even the sorry, I walk around when I talk and I like freaking get winded, but
Yeah.
even even down to
That makes two of us. That's why
even
I put a
down to
beer in my
Larry,
hand.
even down to Larry's name, why it's Leri and not Larry is hysterical. So all these stories these guys have are awesome. I'm so excited they're in this space. It's exciting. And I don't know, you guys want to say any closing thoughts? Chris, thank you so much. Make sure you
Thank you.
guys join the Telegram. If you have any problems finding him, you guys can you'll find him through my Twitter or X. I hate saying Twitter. Through my X account. You can probably find the Telegram through that, or just search up Giga Geeks. It'll come up. And you guys go ahead and say your closing remarks. Chris, go ahead first.
Oh, I just want to say thank you for having me on, and I had an awesome really time hanging out with all of you. It's been really fun. I'd love to come back and listen or jump on with Larry again at some point. So you're it's really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So glad to
Thank you
meet
so
you. That's
bigly for
awesome.
coming on.
I'm gonna get me some Giga Geek tokens for sure. I'm gonna spread the word. That's super
Thanks,
Awesome.
awesome.
Crystal. Yeah, like just like MVP. You grab 'em, put it in your wallet.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, and come by the community and hang out sometime and listen to what we're about, because I think it's a lot of fun, and we've got good people on the project.
And
So
both communities are so similar.
that's
Those
I'm
awesome.
super
communities.
excited. I wanted to mention before we go, Chris, are you gonna be back for the next Wednesday or
I don't. I'd be happy to come on anytime. I would love to, but I don't know what the arrangement is. So I will. We will be back whenever we can. Whenever
okay.
it's yeah,
Okay,
we'd
that's
be happy
awesome.
to.
I would love for you to come. I'm just gonna mention, Jenna, that either next week or the next, we're gonna have the lovely Queen Carissa McFarland. She is a powerhouse, you guys. She's an author. She started her own token. She's also a crypto journalist. So and she's an MVP supporter. So she's joined our community. I met her out at when I was at the Atlanta Bitcoin. Um, it was like an event, and she's super excited. She can't wait to join our live stream. So just wanted to send that out. Looking forward to our next live stream. So this
That's
was an awesome one.
amazing. Good one.
Yeah, absolutely. She's going to get an article about MVP, and I can't wait. I'm super excited. So that is to come, you guys.
Yeah, good job with that, Crystal. That's definitely exciting, and
Yeah.
hopefully for anybody listening, it just goes to show some of the work going on behind the scenes with MVP, and that's just one of many things right there. So definitely a good job, Crystal, getting that all lined up.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited about some of the work we're doing too, MVP in the field. You guys don't even know. I was wanting to share, but I may have some tickets to the inauguration, and I'm yes. That's I've been on the phone today with one of my lovely friends, Elizabeth McDaniel. So we will see. She's gonna, she's working, try to get me some. So she's definitely going. Her friend, who is Dan, he owns like the Trump bus. It's like a Trump bus that he drives in Washington D.C. So she and a bunch of other of her GOP members, some of the RNC members. These ladies have done the work and they are close to Marjorie Green. And so she's going this weekend to get her ticket at Marjorie Green's office. Okay. So, I don't know. We
Oh
got a lot
my
of,
gosh.
yeah,
Ah!
yeah, yeah. And
Woo!
I know I may go with her. So I don't know if she'll have me. So we'll see. If I get that ticket, that'll be so awesome.
You'd think that we're so close with Funny Donald that we would get our own tickets, but
Come on,
no.
funny Donald. You got tickets you're hiding. Come on.
No comment. No comment. Look, I've been advised because, quite frankly, I'm just weary of handing them out to too many people. I did get shot last year. I
I
would prefer not to get shot again. I'm sure Polly Market has some
appreciate
kind of bet about that.
I appreciate you giving me that 4-pack for me and my friends. So that was really kind of you. Or was that
Hey!
supposed to be just between you and I?
Huge. You're not supposed to say anything. Shh.
I just
Donna, what's your favorite movie that Chris mentioned? Like really quick before we leave, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Marvels, Blade Runner. What else was there? Avatar.
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 I got to say, the first Avatar movie was tremendous. I remember seeing it in the movie theater with the goggles, with the glasses, the
Yeah.
3D glasses. That was the first movie that brought in the newer age of watching movies in 3D, if you
Yep.
remember. And that was incredible. I remember going, ah, just kidding. I'm 100% brave. I did not scream one bit. It was all Eric. Eric was the screamer. And it was unbelievable. It was a beautiful movie, very strong movie. I
Yep.
felt they treated the humans not so nicely. They treated the humans not so nicely, though. Those blue little freaks, they were so mean. They were so tremendously mean.
Oh
That's
my
awesome.
God. Okay. Mike, did Mike say closing words or
Yeah, I did, but I'll throw in one more thing.
okay.
There's a lot going on
Hmm.
around the world, but specifically in the U.S. right now in L.A. To anybody in that area with all the fires, I was watching live coverage earlier. I mean, it's just absolutely horrendous. The what people are going through, and I know people in other countries might listen to this, and they got planes flying over them and bombs dropping, and a lot of other really bad things as well. So I just want to throw a word and of encouragement to everybody in these areas to, you know, hopefully they can get through it in the best way possible. But I appreciate everybody joining the show. MAGA VP is here to stay. I think Giga Geek is a great project as well. I'd encourage everybody to go into the TG and check it out. I have a lot of good friends that are supporting it. And, to the panel, be ready for this year with MAGA VP. And we have the inauguration coming up and a lot of other cool things. So thanks for joining us tonight. And I hope everybody has a great night. And we'll see you all again next week.
Thank you,
Take
Thanks
guys.
care.
everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Adios.
We're glad to take this ride with you guys in 2025.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Take care,
Bye
Chris.
You
all.
too.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thanks,
Is
Luke.